They ignored me when I spoke. They misunderstood me when I explained. So one day, I made a choice that changed my life forever. I stopped explaining myself, and that's when everything started to change. My name is Ria, and for most of my life, I was the quiet girl in the room. Not because I was weak, not because I had nothing to say, but because people decided my voice wasn't important. At home, my opinions were brushed aside. At school, my ideas were ignored. At work, my efforts were seen, but never appreciated. I kept telling myself that if I stayed kind, if I worked harder, one day someone would notice me. I believed that explaining myself would fix everything. If I spoke clearly enough, if I tried again, if I stayed patient, people would understand me. But the truth was painful. The more I explained, the more invisible I became. I was always there for others, listening to their problems, supporting their dreams, standing in the background while they took the spotlight. The moment that changed my life happened at work. I shared an idea I had been working on late at night, carefully and honestly. No one reacted. Some looked at their phones. Some nodded politely minutes later. Another person repeated the same idea in different words, and suddenly everyone praised it. I sat there smiling, but inside my heart sank. That day, I didn't feel angry. I felt empty. That night, I went home and cried quietly. Not because of one moment, but because of years of feeling unseen. I stood in front of the mirror and asked myself a question that scared me. Why am I always explaining my worth to people who don't care to see it? That night, I made a promise to myself. I would stop explaining. I would stop proving. I would start focusing on me. I didn't change overnight. I still felt scared. I still felt unsure, but I changed my direction. Instead of asking for attention, I invested in myself. I learned new skills. I read books. I improved my work. I took care of my health. I stayed quiet, but my actions became louder than words. Months passed. People slowly noticed the change. Not because I spoke more, but because I had changed from the inside. My confidence grew. My work became stronger. I stopped reacting to disrespect. I stopped chasing validation. And something surprising happened. The same people who ignored me started asking for my opinion. One day, I was asked to lead a project. The room that once ignored me now listened carefully. I didn't feel nervous. I didn't feel the need to impress. I knew who I was. I realized something powerful in that moment. When you stop explaining yourself, people either lose interest or they start paying attention. Either way, you win. Today, I am still quiet, but I am no longer invisible. I don't raise my voice to be heard. I let my work, my growth, and my confidence speak for me. And if you are listening to this story and you feel ignored, misunderstood, or overlooked, remember this: you don't need permission to grow. Stop explaining yourself. Focus on becoming stronger. One day, the world will notice, not because you asked it to, but because it has no other choice.